Athena Swan it's a charter and a framework that's now globally recognised, and it encourages and recognises commitment to advancing the careers not only of women but also men. The benefits of Athena Swan, firstly, it helps institutions like LJMU deliver the gender equality objectives, so the legislation, the things that are expected of any organisation to do. It's also about looking at both our curriculum, our teaching and learning, our assessment, to make sure that's inclusive and accessible to everybody. For staff, it's about looking at our working environment. Do we have an inclusive, flexible working environment? Maybe where are some of the challenges for people across gender differences in terms of being able to work, sometimes progress throughout the organisation, maternity, paternity leave, those sorts of things. The challenges for Athena Swan are that, first of all, it needs to have an institutional commitment, and we certainly have that at LJMU as part of our equality, diversity, inclusivity objectives. But the challenge is, once we've got an action plan together, actually making the change on the ground. So how would people actually be able to feel that their individual needs and differences are being supported? Institutionally, we first got accredited with bronze Athena Swan back in 2014, and we were re-accredited in 2018. Across the university, we've got 14 different departments, areas that are working towards Athena Swan bronze at the moment. We only have one that has been successful, that's sport and exercise science. We have about another 6 going through Athena Swan submission over the next 12 months. Over the next 12 to 18 months, we should be submitting for silver. And what that will do is provide an evidence base, if we're going to get silver accreditation, that we actually have delivered on some of our actions, some of the things that we set out in our bronze submission. I would also like to see departments and schools, and particularly sport and exercise science, that's got a bronze award, starting to move up to silver. So in terms of academic delivery, one of the areas that we were underrepresented in terms of women applying for readership and professorship. So what we have done is we have consulted, we've worked with the Women's Professorial Network within the university, the Women's Academic Network, to look at where are some of the challenges of the promotion rounds. Is it to do with the language or the evidence base? Is it to do with unconscious bias of the panels? And so we've got more work to do there, but certainly over the last year, we've had significantly more women apply for readership and professorship and be successful at reader and professorship. So I think that's an important success. This isn't just about academic staff. So we've identified our first professional service, which is going to be estates and facility management. There's over 300 staff in that area, and predominantly dominated by women, quite often in the lower grade roles. So there are less men in estates and facility management. So that's going to be an interesting challenge to have a look at some of the gender differences, some of the structural issues there. And we're hoping to go for bronze accreditation within the next 12 months within professional services. And I hope that other areas will follow as well. Athena Swan, particularly, is everybody's responsibility. It's not just mine as a member of the executive or a member of the board of governors. Equality, diversity, inclusivity is everybody's responsibility. Some people will be involved in policy setting, other people will be involved in the processes, other people will be involved in how we just work and how we change or how we practice on a day-by-day basis. So being aware, all of us, of our potential to sometimes discriminate people, sometimes consciously, but also unconsciously. And I think, for me, the message to staff is, please take the opportunities that are going to be there for you to challenge your own thinking and your own experiences, and hopefully, it will result in a much better inclusive Liverpool John Moores University.